In today's analysis, we are jumping straight into something absolutely game-changing. Welcome to This Explainer. We're going to completely unpack Dale Carnegie's timeless roadmap for mastering human connection. And listen, this isn't just theory, right? This is about understanding the actual psychological mechanics of how we interact, how we build trust, and how we navigate our social and professional lives. We're pulling insights directly from a comprehensive breakdown of these strategies to give you a clear, totally actionable guide to becoming a master communicator.
So how do you truly influence people without, forcing them? It's kind of the ultimate puzzle, isn't it? We all want to be heard, respected, and able to guide outcomes. But the moment you try to force someone's hand, boom, you meet immediate resistance. In this explainer, we're looking for the practical, everyday strategies that completely bypass that resistance. We want methods you can literally use today, at your very next meeting, or even just sitting around the dinner table.
Okay, let's dive into this. Think of today's framework as a social mastery escalator. We'll start with the foundations of connection, step up to building likability, elevate into winning people over, and finally reach leading without resentment.
All right, step 1, foundations of human connection.
To build a real connection, we actually have to unlearn our natural instincts first. Picture this, you're hosting a party. Everyone arrives on time, except for one friend who's just incredibly late. Now, our natural instinct to criticize. We think, they don't care, or they're literally always like this. But the anti-instinct move, the one that actually builds trust, is to avoid that criticism entirely. Instead, you welcome them. You ask if everything's okay, or if they got held up with something urgent. By choosing understanding over criticism, you instantly signal that you're a safe, trusting person. I guarantee you, that friend will remember that grace, and their openness toward you will absolutely skyrocket.
Moving to our next foundational concept, sincere appreciation. Notice the key difference here. It's genuinely acknowledging someone's strengths to build trust, not using empty flattery. Flattery is selfish, and honestly, people see right through it. Sincere appreciation is about genuinely recognizing positive actions. The big takeaway is that this acts as massive positive reinforcement. When you sincerely appreciate someone, psychologically, they feel valued, and they get genuinely excited to do more of that good work. You're basically creating this highly motivated ecosystem around you.
Which brings us to this really fantastic quote. Take a genuine interest in others by asking about their challenges and how they overcame them. Moving beyond a normal, superficial chat requires actual curiosity. Don't just ask what someone does for a living, ask about their hobbies, their experiences, the hurdles they've faced. When you ask someone how they overcame a specific challenge, you aren't just making small talk. You're showing that you deeply value their life experience.
Moving right along to step 2, 6 ways to build likability.
Now that we've got our trust-based foundation, it's time to generate what I like to call magnetic likability. I want you to anchor this number in your mind, 6. There are exactly 6 highly effective principles we're going to cover. Consider this your mental checklist to run through right before your next important networking event. Let's rapidly run through this checklist. First up is the absolute simplest, yet somehow most ignored tool, the smile. Scientifically, smiling releases mood-boosting chemicals in your own body, but outwardly, it instantly removes that stranger danger vibe. It creates a welcoming space. Then we have remembering names, listening actively without interrupting, talking in terms of their interests, making them feel genuinely important, and as we just discussed, showing genuine interest in who they are. Let's zoom in on that second point about names, because there's a brilliant 3-step formula here. Let's say you meet someone new. Step 1, truly listen to the name. Don't just stand there waiting for your turn to speak. Step 2, repeat it aloud immediately. If they say, "Hi, I'm Rahul," you say, "Nice to meet you, Rahul." And step 3, mentally recall it a few seconds later. To an individual, their name is the sweetest sound in any language. Using it makes them feel incredibly respected and creates an instant personal connection.
To wrap up this level of likability, listen to this. Talk in terms of the other person's interest to make the conversation instantly engaging. If you combine active listening, which means, actually keeping quiet and not interrupting, with steering the conversation toward what they love, you create an unbreakable bond. They won't just think you're a good conversationalist, they'll think you're one of the most fascinating people they've ever met, simply because you gave them the floor to shine.
Okay, step 3, winning people to your side. I gotta warn you, this is the exact stage where most of us stumble. Why? Because our egos desperately try to take the wheel. Here's that anti-instinct hook again. When we know we're right, our absolute first instinct is to argue and prove it. But arguing only creates friction. The other person just builds a wall. On the flip side, admitting your own mistakes instantly and openly, that diffuses tension like magic. It completely disarms the other person and creates a space of total honesty.
There's this fascinating psychological domino effect that happens. When you stand up and say, "Hey, I messed this up, this is on me," you completely change the rules of the interaction. Your vulnerability forces a shift. Others instantly stop playing the defensive blame game and begin to take responsibility for their own parts of the issue. Your honesty literally dictates how the rest of the room behaves.
So, here's the ultimate persuasion process broken down. Step 1. Avoid the argument entirely. You literally cannot win an argument because even if you win on logic, you lose the person's goodwill. Step 2. Admit your mistakes right away. Step 3. Try honestly to see things from their perspective. Before you try to reach any conclusion, you absolutely must find a solution that benefits both sides.
And this brilliantly illustrates the whole vibe of this section. Collaborative communication, not constant debate, is the true secret to winning people over. Collaboration beats confrontation every single time. It turns an opponent into a partner.
Finally, we've reached step 4, leading without building resentment. I'm speaking directly to the professionals, the managers, and the aspiring leaders right now. Just look at the contrast here. A bad boss gives strict, barking orders. And what does that do? It builds immediate, quiet resentment. Sure, people will comply, but they definitely won't respect you. A great leader, on the other hand, asks guiding questions, making the team feel like their input actually matters. A bad boss criticizes mistakes publicly, humiliating the person. But a great leader, they correct mistakes privately, protecting the person's dignity while still fixing the issue. To be truly effective, you have to arouse an eager want. Look, effective leaders don't force their ideas down people's throats. Instead, they frame the objective in a way that shows the team how they will personally benefit. If you want someone to take a course or learn a new skill, don't just tell them it helps the company. Show them how it upgrades their own resume and their own capabilities. Align the team's goals with their personal desires, and they'll pull themselves forward. Now contrast the instinct of yelling about a mistake in front of everyone with an incredibly powerful technique, giving them a reputation to live up to. When you publicly praise someone, you aren't just making them feel good. You're setting a standard. You're giving them a reputation of excellence that they will fight tooth and nail to maintain. Let me give you a really specific scenario. Imagine an employee finishes a tough project early and does a fantastic job. If the boss praises that employee in front of the whole team, two amazing things happen. First, that specific employee will always strive to repeat that early, high-quality delivery to keep their new reputation intact. Second, it creates a positive ripple effect. The rest of the team sees that hard work is recognized and rewarded, and they naturally want a piece of that praise too. It just lifts the entire room. As we wrap up this journey, remember this truth. These timeless strategies work just as perfectly in today's digital world as they did decades ago. Human nature hasn't fundamentally changed, you guys. Whether you're talking face-to-face, over a Zoom call, or via email, the person on the other end still wants to feel important, heard, and respected. These techniques remain the absolute ultimate roadmap to both personal and business success.
So I want to leave you with a provocative question to think about. Which of these social anti-instincts will you practice in your very next conversation? Will you avoid criticizing that late friend? Will you repeat someone's name out loud to remember it? Or maybe you'll admit a mistake before someone else points it out. Take just one of these tools, apply it today, and watch how dramatically your interactions transform. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you in the next one.